essayant de répondre à cette problématique de la pérennité et de la durabilité, je voudrais prendre en compte l'ensemble de ces entités et catégories d'entreprises culturelles et créatives, qu'elles soient plus avancées ou qu'elles débutent, ou qu'elles évoluent totalement dans l'informel. Oui, l'informel, on ne saurait l'occulter parce qu'il existe un réel écosystème important dans ce secteur-là qui justifie d'une grande capacité aussi d'emploi. Mais aujourd'hui, en termes de propositions justement pour favoriser cette durabilité des ICC, il faudrait d'abord reconnaître la grande nécessité de les accompagner et de les renforcer sur plusieurs axes, notamment réussir à créer et améliorer l'environnement qui devrait garantir à ces ICC les conditions de création, de production et de diffusion, tout d'abord au niveau institutionnel, notamment en accélérant les processus de protection des droits d'auteur, par exemple, des lois et des textes sur les statuts des artistes et des métiers de la culture. Et il faudrait aussi réussir à multiplier ou renforcer les mécanismes d'accompagnement au niveau local, en créant, par exemple, les conditions d'accès aux mécanismes internationaux. Favoriser et mettre en place des dispositifs nécessaires à la pratique entrepreneuriale, aujourd'hui, quelque chose de très, très important parce que c'est un gage de durabilité de ces ICC. Mais à côté de cela, c'est réussir à favoriser la mise en place de dispositifs de formation, soutenir avec des éléments un écosystème global en tenant compte du secteur informel et formel, mais en favorisant surtout un partenariat public-privé dynamique.
The first is having a grassroots focus, number one. And this is moving from citizen action towards a policy framework. So in Jamaica, the approach that Kingston Creative has taken to building the ecosystem is to create an artist-led movement, then raise capital, start performing, painting murals in a neglected area of the city, and agitating for the creation of this arts district. So this model supports primarily the grassroots, emerging creatives. And these grassroots actors, it helps us to take a holistic approach to funding and support for digital and entrepreneurial skills. Number two is diversity of funding. So we have a private sector, public sector, and third sector entities. And when we say third sector, we're referring to the NGOs, the public sector, nonprofits, social enterprises, and civil society groups with whom we have cross-cutting objectives. We also have these locally and internationally, and this very diverse funding mix, local, international, public, private, and third sector, has helped us to be resilient in what is a highly politicized climate where when governments change, priorities change, and funding can disappear. The third is a dedicated arts fund. Number four is to maintain our freedom and informality. And this is because it sounds counterintuitive, but informality fosters innovation. So what we want is just enough formalization to allow us to do business effectively with the world, but we want to maintain that artistic freedom that we now enjoy.
We are aiming for the slow fashion, is that where we invest in natural fabric, sourcing natural fibers and recycling materials. In most of the collection, we always have like one piece that is recycled. We have a PDCA cycle. We produce, reuse, and prevent first. So we have some of the key practices that always come in our creations when we design the collection for us to be able to design consciously and produce sustainably. And I'll talk about the ethical supply chain as well, where I talk about the Africa-based sourcing and designing. Since we are designing on the continent, it is always a key matter for us to always keep in mind that when we design on the continent, how do we also outsource on the continent? So some of the key factors we come back again to see where is the potential for the production on the continent of Africa where we can supply 100% of the supply chain. The local artisanship, we currently work with the cooperatives of women that are on the continent and also mainly in Rwanda. So where we have some of the big number we employ for the people to have the craft made on the garments and the craftsmanship on our pieces. We have to base on what is available currently, taking lessons from the past in either designing, where we take some silhouettes from the Rwandan fashion scene, which was not really existing, but also always getting inspiration from like the drapery, how people used to wear the traditional ceremonies, and fusing it with the tailored modern, maybe collaborated with the East to have a very unique sense of style in terms of creating silhouettes.